What's up, friends? On today's video, we're going to start off by resorting the stack. We've got the one-piece track we have to deal with now, and we're going to see if these cars are still in the same positions or if they're going to swap around a little bit. I imagine there's going to be some swappage. And this might be a few days after for you, but this is directly after I got done finishing the video for the gift car races. So we're going to send 1 through 3 up against the stack, as well as maybe some of the other ones that show some promise. We're going to take the cars that were showing some exemplary speed. If they can't make it into the stack, then we'll find out where they end up in the weight ranks, in the display. It's going to be a lot of racing ahead of us, so sit back, relax, crack open a cold one, enjoy the ride. What we're going to do is we're going to start at the bottom, work our way up. First order of business, the number 12 Front Run and Fairmont against the number 13 FedEx Bright Drop from Matchbox. Here we go. $22.47 to a 55. Laser swapped. 46 to a 61. So the Front Run Fairmont is definitely faster than the FedEx Bright Drop. Next up, the number 11 Siku Mercedes police van versus our Front Run Fairmont. Tight race. 22.47 to 22.50. Laser swapped. Looks like the Fairmont's going to be getting around the police van. Currently 10th, the Fast and Furious Honda S2000 against you-know-who. 46 to a 51. Laser swapped. 48 to a 52. My Front Run Fairmont has been on this channel for a long time. This used to be my number 1 car for a really, really long time. He really seems to like this one-piece track. Number 9 is Fast and Furious Road Runner versus the Fairmont. Okay, that was a good race. 22.47 across the board with Roadrunner taking it by 10 thou. There's swap, 22.47, time to beat. 22.45 to 22.53. The Fairmont keeps clicking them off. And yes, all the cars have been reworked in the stack with the exception of the Camaro. They've all had about 3 or 4 laps of exercise after the reworking. Next up is number 8, the Fast and Furious Impala versus the Fairmont. Ooh, looks like the Impala stuck his nose out in front. 22.46 to 22.50. Fairmont needs to be at 22.46. Don't think. Oh, he does. 22.42 to 22.43. And that was a close race. Fairmont soldiers on. He's up against the number 7 Fast and Furious Dodge Charger next. I think he squeaked it out. 22.46 to 22.47. Laser swap, 22.46, time to beat. Did it again. 22.42 to a 22.48. Kind of speechless here. I didn't expect the Fairmont to do what it's doing. He's up against the number 6 Han Solo and Carbonite next. And go. Oh, Solo. 22.44 to a 22.55. Late swappage, 22.44, the time to beat. I don't think he's going to get past Solo. 22.39 to a 22.41. So that's going to be our stopper for the Front Run Fairmont. Jumping back down to the bottom, let's see who's fastest between the 2 vans. CQ lane 1, Matchbox lane 2. That was tight, but it's a CQ. 22.56 to a 22.59. Swap out 22.56, the time to beat. Oh boy, 2255 to 2263. So the bright drop takes it by 1,000ths. Next up, S2000 versus FedEx. FedEx is doing good. Not good enough. 2253 to a 57. Laser swap, 2253, time to beat. 2 wins for the Hondas. Going to put a stopper to the FedEx van. So FedEx moves up a spot. Roadrunner's up next. Roadrunner versus the Honda. And go. 2250 to a 53. Laser swap, Honda needs to beat at 2250. Won't do it. 2248 to a 2250. Roadrunner is the stopper for the Honda. Impala's up next. Next up, we got the Impala versus the Roadrunner. Ready, set, go. 2250 to a 2253. Laser swapped Impala needs to beat a 2250. He's not going to do it. 2247 to a 2253. So Roadrunner's working his way up. But first, let's see who's getting 10th. Impala versus Honda. Oh boy, the Impala. Ha, hero run. 2240 to a 2249. Laser swap, Honda needs to beat a 2240. He's not going to do it. 2247 to a 2251. So as of right now, the Honda stays where he's at. Impala stays above Honda. He's one below the Roadrunner. Number 8 Charger against the Roadrunner. Looks like the Roadrunner got him. 2242 to a 44. Good race. Thanks, train. Laser swap, Charger needs to beat at 2242. I don't think he's going to get it. 2249 to a 2250. So the Roadrunner takes up another spot. Racing for the 9th spot, it's our Charger versus the Impala. $22.43 to a 55. That Impala is not liking this track too much. Laser swap, 22.43, the time to beat. Oh boy. Yeah, he gets it and then some. 22.37 to a 43. So the Impala falling down to the number 9 spot. Let's see how the Honda does against the Charger. Charger in lane 1, Honda in lane 2. I expect the Charger to take the win on this one. Yeah, 22.48 to a 54. Laser swap, 22.48, the time to beat. He's consistent. 48 to a 51. So Charger lands himself in the number 10 spot, and the Honda still in 11. All right, let's see if Carbonite can get higher in the stack. Fast and Furious Mustang in lane 1 and Han Solo and Carbonite in lane 2. And go. Carbonite. 22.41 to a 22.48. And they're swapped. Can the Mustang beat at 22.41? Doesn't look like it. 22.40 to a 22.43. Up next, the number 4 Fast and Furious Roadrunner, this one with the Spectre Flame paint, versus Han Solo. And good race. 22.38 to a 22.40. Solo's getting faster. Laser swap. Roadrunner needs to be at 22.38. I don't think he's going to get him. 22.38 to a 22.41. Han Solo on the move, up against the number 3 car, the Johnny Lightning Black with Flames Camaro. And go. 38 to a 42. Laser swap Camaro needs to be at 22.38. Good race. It's solo though. Moving on up. 2240 to a 43. Where is solo going to stop? The number 2 Siku ambulance might have something to say about it. And maybe, well, yeah, he did. 2240 to a 2241. Laser swap, 2240, the time to beat. And he's not going to do it. 2242 to a 48. So the ambulance plays the stopper for Han Solo. Han Solo making a big jump up to my new number 3. Well, let's see if our Fairmont can do anything against that Mustang. Battling for the number 6 spot. Oh man, he does. 2245 to a 2248. Lane swappage, 2245, time to beat. He's gonna get him. 2245 to a 2255. Well, Han Solo is playing stopper to the Fairmont, but he's got a few more left in him, I think. Going up the Spectre Flame Fast and Furious Roadrunner. And go. Roadrunner, ripping off a good one. 2242 to a 2247. Laser swap, 2242, the time to beat. Not gonna make it. 2239 to a 2242. So front running Fairmont, jumping all the way up to the number 6 spot. Let's see if the Camaro's got anything left in its tank. Roadrunner in lane 1, Black with Flames Camaro in lane number 2. And go. 2237 to a 2242. Laser swap, 2237, time to beat. 2244 to a 2247. So a Roadrunner going to be taking over the number 4 spot and racing for 5th. Black with Flames Camaro against the Fairmont. Marks, get set, go. Good race. Wow, really good race. 2245 across the board with the nod going to the Fairmont. Laser swap, Camaro needs to beat a 2245 to keep his number 5 spot. He's not going to do it. 2241 to a 2243. So the Fairmont making waves. He's up to number 5. A little discouraging, but Black with Flames Camaro against the 69 Mustang. And go. 2242 to 2247. Laser swap, 2242 is the mark. 2241 to a 2249. And the Black with Flames Camaro lands in the number 6 overall spot. And the last pairing that haven't run each other yet is the 69 Mustang versus the orange Roadrunner, battling for the number 7 spot. And go. Good race, but it is the Roadrunner. 2243 to 2246. Laser swap, 2243, the time to beat. Oh boy, the Mustang continues to go down. 2244 did not beat the first pass run, but 2243 by the Roadrunner. All right, orange Roadrunner taking number 7. Looks like we're gonna get the Impala out one more time. Mustang in lane 1, Impala in lane 2. Ready, steady. Looks like the Mustang by 2 thousandths. 2245 to 2247. Laser swap, 2245, the time to beat. Oh my Lord. 2236 to a 2247. So Impala with the hero run, and the Mustang continues to fall. Mustang versus Charger. Here we go. Close race. Charger getting him by 2 thousandths. Swappage, 2248, the time to beat. He lost again. 2243 to a 2250. What's going on here? Mustang continues its downward trend. He's up against the Honda now. And go. Oh, boy. 2249 across the board with the nod going 10 thousandths to the Honda. Well, I didn't expect to be doing this, but 2249, the time to beat. Well, finally we found a stopper for the Mustang. 2249 to a 2250. Mustang falling all the way to the number 10 spot. And S2000 staying where he was at. Time to go up top. All right, here we go. This is what we've been wanting to see. Murata, my current number 1 against the number 2 Siku ambulance. Ready, steady. That was pretty tight. 2237 to a 2238. Swapping them. 2237, the time to beat. What is it? What is it? 2240 to 2244. I'm not liking the inconsistency on the Murata, but he did have a faster first run pass. So he's going to stay number 1 in the stack for now. So Murata, fastest pass, stays in the number 1 spot. Ambulance in number 2. And I believe we are done with the stack resort. Let's move on with the cars that were in the gift race. I did separate these out into the weight categories. These are all greater than 62, 51 to 62, 41 to 50, 31 to 40, and the Carrera sitting over there wanting to go up in the less than 30 gram ranks. So let's start there. We got the Porsche 908 in lane number 1 and the Opel Speedster by Matchbox in lane number 2. All right, here we go. Oh boy. 2286 to a 2315. This is the first time I'm seeing any gatekeeper times on any of the weight ranks for the single piece track. So not looking too good for the Carrera. Well, let's go ahead and swap them. 2286, the time to beat. 2289 to a 2316. So the Porsche, not going to make it into the ranks, but he still will be a treasured car of mine. Okay, I cheated a little bit. In the 31 to 40 gram ranks, I went ahead and ran off the gatekeeper, which is, I think that's Poe's X-Wing, I think, character car. He was averaging about a 2279 between the 2 lanes. Out of all these cars right here, these 3 are the only ones that are going to challenge him. The rest of them, way too slow. So rather than waste a lot of time and show you those not making it past him, these 3 have a chance. We'll go ahead and put them up first. So we have Poe's X-Wing. He is the gatekeeper into that rank against the Buick Wildcat. And I'm sure that we will see... We got him 2276 to 2279. I'm sure that we will see that some of the cars that are actually above Poe might actually not be as fast as him. It's been a while since I've worked all these cars over here. It's been a long time, probably close to a year. So it's possible that if he starts climbing up, there might be some slower ones in this category besides him. We'll just have to wait and find out. Ranger swap 2276, time to beat. Close. Another 2276 to a 2279. So, new gatekeeper so far, Buick Wildcat. Poe's X-Wing is out. Okay, let's jump up a few, shall we? Faster than ever V16 looks like a good candidate. V16 in lane 1 and the Wildcat in lane 2. And go. V16, 2273 to a 2277. Later swap, 2273, the time to beat. Well, they're running consistent at least. V16 is safe. Let's go down to the Honda Odyssey, see how he does. Honda Odyssey in lane 1, Buick Wildcat lane 2. For sure, 2278 to a 2294. Yeah, see what I mean about that? That's a lousy time. Swap them up, see if the Honda wakes up. And he does not. 2280 to a 2295. I think it's safe to say that the X-Wing is running much better times than this minivan. So, bye-bye. Only one left, Chrome Turbo Tram. And go. Tram, wow. 2268 to a 2278, 10 thousandths. Later swap, 2268, the time to beat. 2265 to a 2276. Turbo Tram will be the stopper for the Buick, and it appears he really likes this single piece track. Well, that was fun. The Chrome Turbo Tram you just saw on the track, he is at the 50th percentile now in that weight rankings. He is running fast. He loves the single piece track. Rather than film all that, this video is going to take forever if I do that. So I'll show you where he ended up, and next in line, we got the Jaguar I-Pace to face the Gatekeeper. X-Wing in lane 1, I-Pace in lane 2, and in all transparency, the I-Pace was about 1 or 2 thousandths off of the X-Wing, so he might not even have a chance. And go. It's a good race, though. 2279 to a 2282. And we're spot 2279, the time to beat. 2280 to an 85, so the I-Pace not gonna get it done. And that leaves us with the Fiero. I believe he is gonna get it done. Here we go. Yes, he is. 71 to a 75. Lane swap, it's 71, the time to beat. Ooh. 79 to an 85, lousy run by both of them, but the Fiero had the faster pass than the first one. Well, we'll see if the Fiero can do what the Wildcat couldn't. And go. No, it's not happening. 2271 to a 2278. They just swapped 71, the time to beat. Does he get it? No, he does not. Well, here we go. Good race. Buick taking it by 1 thousandths. Later swap, let's see if the Fiero can beat a 2277. Well, he did, but the Wildcat punches back. 2275 to a 2276. So the Wildcat stays where he's at, and the new Gatekeeper to the 31 to 40 gram ranks is the Hot Ones Fiero. For our next weight category, 41 to 50 grams, the Matchbox Ferrari is our Gatekeeper. I ran him off 4 times. He averaged a 2273. Anybody who did not average at least within 5 thousandths is out, and those 3 did not cut it. However, we've got a bunch in this weight category to test. So the first one to challenge a Ferrari is going to be the Ford GT. Ready, steady. Close race, 2269 to a 2271, so the GT off by 2 thousandths. Well, wouldn't you know it, the Ferrari ripping off a fast one. 2269, the time to beat. 2277 to a 2278. Well, Ferrari is going to take that one. Same Gatekeeper against the Roadrunner. Mimi. Oh, he got him. 2271 to a 2277. Laser swap, 2271, the time to beat. He's not going to do it. 2270 to a 2276. Roadrunner making it into the ranks. Okay, where shall we go? Get too excited here. Let's check out this Thunderbird. X-Side Thunderbird in lane 1 and the Roadrunner in lane 2. And go. X-Side 2264 to a 2269. Laser swap, 264, the time to beat. He's not going to do it. 2266 to a 2269. So X-Side Thunderbird keeps his spot. That's pretty close. Let's jump down a couple to the, who is that? Buzz Lightyear Grand Prix. Grand Prix in lane 1, Roadrunner lane 2. Buzz running pretty quick, 22.64 to 22.71. Lane swappage, 2.64, the time to beat. 22.67 across the board. Looks like Buzz Lightyear is safe. Buzz going back there. Let's just go ahead and run him off. Yeah, I've got a blank spot down here because I've got Fairmont's double stacked and I never went through the trouble. So next spot above Gatekeeper is this Art Cars Ford Transit. Ford Transit in lane 1, Roadrunner lane 2. Looks like Roadrunner's going to get him. 22.76 to a 22.82. Leader swap, 2.76, time to beat. 81 to an 85. So Roadrunner's getting past that guy. Might have to redust him or see how he does against that Ferrari later. We'll stick him down here where he belongs. And the only one left is the previous Shadow Jet. Shadow Jet lane 1, Roadrunner lane 2. Roadrunner, 22.76 to a 22.82. Laser swap, 22.76, the time to beat. 78 to an 82. Now remember, none of these cars have been re-ranked yet, so Roadrunner making it into the ranks, taking a spot right below Buzz Lightyear. And Shadow Jet moving down one. Well, let's pick on the new Shadow Jet. We've got the Roadrunner versus the new Shadow Jet. Here we go. 22.73 to a 77. Looks like the new one is a little bit quicker. 22.73, the time to beat. He does it. 22.71 to a 74. Okay, the new Shadow Jet just dispatched the Roadrunner. See how Tide treats us tonight. Is it gonna get the laundry clean? Tight race. 22.70 to a 22.73. Later swap, 22.70, the time to beat. Still gets him. 22.71 to a 22.76. All right, Shadow Jet on the move. Let's check out this GTO. All right, the Classics GTO at the very upper spot of that weight ranking system. He's like 50.3 grams. We'll see how he does against Shadow Jet. This GTO, one of very few cars that I've got in my ranks with fat tires. He still gets it done pretty good, but he loses this time. 22.73 to a 22.75. Granted, he hasn't been running a long time. 22.73, the time to beat. He chokes big time. 22.73 to a 22.82. Shadow Jet takes them both. Well, GTO, we'll leave him where he's at. Let's jump up to Mercedes AMG. I haven't run one of these on the new track yet. AMG in lane 1, Shadow Jet lane 2. Boy, he's noisy. 70 to a 78. Lane swappage, 22.70, the time to beat. Shadow Jet flies by him on the flat, gets him by 5 thousandths. Another one I'm going to have to probably revisit later. Let's go to the next row, shall we? We haven't seen this one run in a while. F-Bomb Camaro by Mattel. Camaro, lane number 1. Shadow Jet, lane number 2. Ready, steady. I thought it was the Camaro, but it looks like Shadow Jet gets him by 1 thousandths. Again, these cars in the ranks are stone cold. They haven't had any exercise, no rework in a long time. Let's see here, 22.67 the time to beat after a lane swap. And it looks like he's gonna get past him. So Shadow Jet continues on. All right, Camaro, back in your place. Who you want to pick on? Let's go after the number 30 Pennzoil. Whole lot of yellow. Good stinking race. He rips off another one, 2269 to a 71. Langer swap 2269, the time to beat. 2267 to a 2275. All right, we continue on. Well, another one we haven't seen in a while. Fast and Furious GTX. And my radio is not happy with me. There's another beautiful one. Another one by Mattel. Fast and Furious GTX versus our Challenger. And go. Oh boy. Here we go. 2259 to 2268. Swappage 2259. Don't think it's going to happen. He hasn't been in the 50s all night. 58 to a 68. All right, let's back up and punt. All right, GTX back in his spot. Oh, who do we want to go after? Let's see if he can get past the Stingray. Stingray lane 1, Shadow Jet lane 2. Think he's going to get him. 69 to a 72. Lane swappage, 269, the time to beat. He's going to blow his doors off. 2270 to a 2282. So, Shadow Jet dispatching the Stingray. 50th anniversary Zamac 09 F-150. F-150 in lane number 1, Shadow Jet in lane number 2. 72 to a 75. Langer swap 72, the time to beat. Good race. 71 to a 73. All right, there it is. So the new Shadow Jet doing really, really good. In about the 50th percentile for the 41 to 50. I've actually got 4 rows of these guys. He's at the bottom of the second one, F-150. Just gonna lay him temporarily in there until I can get all these swapped around. All right, up next, we've got the Stingray, and I did give him just a quick refreshing of dust. I ran him off when I was checking the times, and a couple of his wheels were a little buzzy. So quick redusting, and let's see how he does. Who haven't we picked on? Let's check out Storm, see if he can get up this high. So Storm in lane 1, and the Vet in lane 2. And go. Good race, but it's the Vet, 2274 to an 81. I've been pretty impressed with how this Vet runs. It's currently on the pegs right now, if you're lucky enough to find one. 2274, the time to beat. Oh yeah, 2271 to a 79, so he's gonna get past Storm. Okay, put that guy back. Let's try the Fast and Furious Escort out. A couple of wide track cars. If you've got that Escort, you know what I mean. And go. That's a pretty even race. The Vet taking it by 2 thousandths. Langer swap 268, time to beat. And I think he's going to do it. 72 to a 76. So the Escort going back in here. Let's check out this Challenger. Dixie Challenger, my bad. This one from the Cool Classic series going up against the Vet. Ready, steady. Vet's getting him. 70 to a 79. And swap, 70, the time to beat. He's not going to do it. 75 to an 84. So the Vet keeps climbing. Dixie Challenger going back in his slot. Let's see if he can jump up past his Camaro. Chevy Camaro concept from the Modern Classics versus our Vet. And go. Oh boy. Yeah. Nope. 2261 to a 71. Swapping him for posterity. 2261, the time to beat. Wow. 59 to a 68. So the Vet not touching the Camaro. Moving down We can put him up against the GTX again. Shall we do that? Up against the GTX. I don't think he's going to have a shot here. We'll give him a try anyhow. Actually, pretty close. 65 to a 67. And they're spot 2265. Time to beat. 56, there you go. To a 71. So GTX is going to stay where he's at. Right there. Well, there's our friend, the Shadow Jet. Shadow Jet lane 1, Vet in lane 2. Shadow Jet putting on the thrusters. 2269 to a 2278. Wow. And they're swapped 2269, the time to beat. Ooh, closer race that time. 72 to a 75. Shadow Jet stays safe in his spot. And let's dig out this F-150. See how he does against the Vet. And this might be where the Vet ends up. 69 across the board. Nice run. And they're swapped. F-150 takes it. 73 to an 80. Well, let's dig out the Stingray one more time and put him up with another red Vet. Here we go. Good race. 70 to a 73. Laser swap 70, the time to beat. Does he get it? No. 2272 to a 75. Okay, so the Vet was there. And that was the Dixie Challenger. He's going to be in one of these two spots. Let's pick on Gold Hot One Ferrari, shall we? My favorite variation of the Race Bait 308 in lane 1. And go. Nice race. 2269 to a 2271. And their spot 2269, the time to beat. Not going to do it. 71 to a 75. So the Vet has found his spot between the Stingray and the Race Bait 308. Nice and gentle like. All right, we continue on with the Volvo 850 Estate. This one actually really surprised me with the narrow wheel track that it has. Who are we going to go after? Let's see. Let's check out Porsche 928 by Matchbox. All right, here we go. 928 in lane 1, Volvo in lane 2. If you guys are still with me, I appreciate you hanging around. I know this is probably taking a little longer. Look at that. Pretty good run. 2268 to a 2271. As I was saying, a little longer than we expected. 2268, time to beat. But this is some of the stuff that happens. Wow, look at that. You got past him. 66 to a 67. Some of the things that happen behind the scenes after the races are over with. Let's see here. We haven't really messed with any of them. We did race him. I don't think he's got the gumption. Let's go after another 928. This one, the Gold Hot Ones version from Hot Wheels. 928 in lane 1, Volvo lane 2. The Volvo. Only a thousandths off of the Porsche. 2270, the time to beat, and the Volvo currently on the pegs. Couldn't do it. 70 to a 72. He is currently on the pegs. You probably won't find any of the 510 wagons, but you'll probably find some of the Volvos. Pick one up, see how they do. All right, so 928. Going back there. We ran him. I'm not so sure about him. Let's see how 300ZX Starburst Wheels does. It's not every day you can pick up cars off the pegs that are going to go toe-to-toe with these castings. 64 to a 65. Nice run. 64, the time to beat, and you're talking $3 for the Volvo, 58, wow, to a 76. And you'll pay more than $3 for that car. Well, he's showing his stuff a little bit though, isn't he? 300ZX likes the seamless. I think that's obvious. Let's go with the gold 442. Gold 442 in lane 1 of your Volvo. In lane 2, you're not going to find a $3 gold 442 in that kind of condition. See what they do. I think the Volvo got him. He did. 2275 to 78. Nice. Is the Volvo going to force me to run that 500 SEC again? I think he is. 2275, the time to beat. Oh, he gets him. Another 2275 to a 2283. Radio is still pissed at me. 442 back in his spot. That leaves this guy. We see him again, the Matchbox AMG. He was sounding a little rough on that first go around. And go. Very close. 68 to a 71. Langer swap 68, the time to beat. And he went past him on the big end. 2273 to a 2276. So, the little Volvo that could. Not too bad. I mean, that is the last row. Top of the last row in the 41 to 50, but there's a lot of cars in here that are very competitive. Pretty cool. And that leaves us with the last car in this category. Yep, Maserati Ghibli. And let's just throw him up against my other Maserati Ghibli. Go from there. So my existing Maserati in lane number 1 and the new guy from Kit Racing. I marked him in white. He'll be in lane number 2. Here we go. 54 to a 56. Pretty even run. Langer swap 54, the time to beat. He's going to get it. 52 to a 53. Very, very close between these two cars. Yes, this is the white marked version. So my existing Ghibli goes back in his spot. Let's see. Let's see if we've got a faster AMG up here with the laser wheels. Laser wheel AMG in lane 1. Well, that's tight. 51 to a 52. 2251, the time to beat. And he does it. 2250 to a 56. All right, so he puts the AMG to bed. Who you want to pick on next? This little oddity of an Odyssey. Tomica Odyssey in lane number 1, Maserati in lane number 2. I have not run this guy on the wider orange track. Sink or swim, buddy. And go. I say he's swimming. 2251 to a 2256. Lane swappage, 2251, the time to beat. And I wish you could hear how smooth they're running. 53 to a 53. Honda wins them both, though. Yeah, check out those wheels. And it is China. Still, these things are pretty quick. Okay, so he's good to go. Let us split the difference here, I guess. Something like that. 442 in yellow. Yellow 442 in lane 1. And go. Ooh, that was pretty bad. Wow. 56 to 73. Where'd that come from? And it swapped. 2256. Time to beat. 58 to a 70. He's getting past that one. And we'll have to visit him in the future. Let's just go ahead and check out this Fairmont. Little Schwemmy in lane number 1. See how this goes. about how I expected. 55 to a 73. And we're swapped. 58 to a 76. Yeah, that's going to be another car I'll have to address in the future. So, the new Ghibli. Let's see, he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spots ahead of my old one. He could not get past that silly little Odyssey right there. Still, not too bad. That is all of them for the 41 to 50 gram weight class. Give me just a second and I'll have this all reorganized. All right, there you have it. A lot of movement in this one. I did fix this situation up here while I was at it. So, Maserati, yep, making it in. Let's see here. Shadow Jet, Focus, Corvette. If I'm missing somebody, forgive me. Volvo. All the way down to the Tide. Tide is now our gatekeeper. These guys were flushed out. Probably do a rework on a few of them. All right, let's go up to the next weight rank category. Okay, gatekeeper into the 51 to 62 gram weight category is the 77 Dodge, the Hot Ones version. 2274 was his average time. All four of these guys beat that average. Porsche is the only one that did not. So we've got 4 cars to play with on this one.
24 hours later.
All right, gatekeeper into the 51 to 62 gram weight category, the Dodge van. All these cars were averaging a little bit better than him. So we're going to go ahead and jump up a little bit. And we're going to start with, well, let's just pick on the existing time machine that I've got in my rankings. So my existing Back to the Future time machine in lane 1 and the Honda S2000 in lane 2. And go. Yeah, see what I mean? 2262 to a 2280. Lanes are swapped. 2262, the time to beat. 67 to a 77. Put the time machine back. Let's move up from here. How about a Ferrari? Ferrari 308 in lane 1, Honda in lane 2. And go. Okay, that was a good race. 2264 to a 2265. Swapping them, Honda needs to beat a 2264. And he's not going to get it. 67 to a 69. Pretty close race, but the Ferrari is going to stay in his spot. I think you guys all remember this guy. He was at the #1 spot for a really long time, the black Solaire. He's fallen down quite a bit. See if he's got anything. Well, word has it Solaire's like the single piece track. Let's see if this one does. I'd say he does. Wow, 2250 to a 2265. Later swap, 2250 the time to beat, and it looks like I'll be going through all of my ranks. 52 to a 68. Black Solaire, probably temporarily going to be in that place right there. We're not going to mess with him anymore today. Let's go down a few spots to the backwoods bomb. The bomb in lane 1, Honda in lane 2. That was a pretty good one. 2260 to a 63. They're swapped 2260, the time to beat. Bomb got them both. 67 to a 69. Next one down from the bomb is Clutches McKay. And go. 59 to a 67. Later swap 2259, the time to beat. Well, that was inconsistent, but he had a faster first pass, so Honda keeps going down. And the only one left, Don's Charger. Dom's Charger in lane 1, the Honda in lane 2. That was a good race. 2270 across the board with the nod going to the Honda. Laner swap, 2270, the time to beat. That looked like the Honda. 2267 to a 2269. So that is going to be the Honda's place. Just nice and gentle, like right above Dom's Charger. And we're going to split the rank and go with the existing number 44 Pro Racing against the Dodge Daytona. The currently ranked Kyle Petty in lane number 1 and the Dodge Daytona in lane number 2. Here we go. Oh, wow. 62 to 83. That guy took off when he hit the flat. Laner swap, 2262, the time to beat. A little bit better race that time. 2264 to a 69. So Kyle Petty going back in his place. It seems like we're going to be in the same general area, so let's go down to the bomb again. Bomb in lane 1, Daytona lane 2. 2259 to 2284. That guy does not like lane 2 for some reason. They're swapped, 2259, the time to beat. 67 to a 68, so he's not getting around the bomb. That first run, not instilling me with a lot of confidence as far as being consistent goes. Let's drop down to Clutches McKay and see what happens. Clutches McKay in lane 1. 57 to a 69. And they're swapped. Clutches getting them both. 64 to a 71. Clutches back in his spot. Let's see how he does against this Silver Bullet. Silver Bullet in lane 1. He got him. 2270 to a 2284. And they're swapped. 2270, the time to beat. Oof, Silver Bullet. Not doing too good. Looks like he's getting past him at least. Moving up one spot to the time machine. And go. 82 to an 84. They're swapped, 82, the time to beat. And I don't think the time machine's going to hold him. Well, I digress. 2270 to a 2277. So that is going to be the stopper for the Daytona. Time machine back in his spot. Daytona is going to be right above that Silver Bullet. Claire is up next. I've heard that these Thunderbirds have a low-hanging pumpkin in the back that don't like this single track. Let's test that theory. Thunderbird in lane 1, Claire Gunzer in lane 2. 2265 to 2281, not a miraculous time by the Thunderbird. We'll swap them anyway. They're swapped, 2265. Wow, 59 to a 67. I didn't hear any rubbing going on with the Thunderbird. He didn't have a very good run the first one, the 67. Is he not rubbing or did he just warm up? I don't know. It doesn't matter. She's getting past him. So Mickey D's going back there. Let's jump ahead a few. We haven't run this guy in a while. Stars and Stripes Byway Man. Byway Man lane 1 clear in lane number 2. 69 to a 75. Byway Man takes it. Swap Claire needs to beat a 269. And she does it. 66 to a 67. Looks like Claire doesn't like lane number 2 either. But that was a pretty good race. I think we're jumping up too high up there. Let's check out Maximus Charger, see how he does. Maximus Charger lane 1. That was a pretty good race. 70 to a 73. SWAT 2270, the time to beat. Oh yeah, 62 to a 73. So Claire taking care of that guy. How about some Siku action? Mercedes-Benz 300 TE in lane 1. Ugh. 80 to a 93. 80, the time to beat. Let's hope they got that out of their system. A little bit better run. 64 to a 64. So that would be a 10,000 beat by the Mercedes. And that would be Claire's fast run in her fast lane. So we're going to call that the stopper right now. Let's back up a little bit. CQ going back in his spot. The only one left is the 280Z. 280Z in lane 1. 60 to a 69. And the SWAT 260, the time to beat. I don't think she's going to do it. 63 to a 70. So 300ZX, putting a stop to Claire. Claire's going to have to go in here. She's a little tall. We'll just set her down here for now. And Time Machine is up next. Okay, so we've got 3 cars put into this category right here. 1, 2, 3. Our new gatekeeper is going to be the Johnny Lightning Grape Ape. Let's go ahead and start with him. And I did redust this Time Machine just a little bit. Not a heavy dose. 74 to a 79. Ugh. After this is over with, I probably will go back. Oh, he got in that time. What was it? 70. Bah. He made it. 2267 to a 70. It's going to get him into the ranks. Okay, that was a 74 in the first one, so he's definitely getting past him. Let's jump up a few. See how the bubble gunner does. Bubble gunner in lane 1. And if I've got some cars, good race, 64 to a 68. If I've got some cars that I think are deserving, like these right here, I'll probably go back and do a more intensive dusting on the wheels after this is over with and see if I can't get anything better out of them. And they're SWAT 2264, the time to beat. And he's not going to get past the bubble gunner. 71 to an 80. Okay, bubble gunner back in his spot. Only one car left to test. Johnny Lightning 69 Camaro. This one, the hot rod version. So he does it in its Time Machine. Here we go. Camaro. Wow. 2258 to a 73. Yep, I got a lot of work ahead of me. 2258. I don't think he's going to get it. And he doesn't. 63 to a 70. So the Camaro goes back in that spot right there. And this Time Machine is going to end up being the new gatekeeper into the class. I was hoping he would do a little better than that. All right. 51 to 62 grams. We've got 3 rows, and it goes in this order right here in case you haven't figured that one out. We've got S2000 making it in. Claire Gunzer. We've got the Daytona and the Time Machine as the gatekeeper spot in that class right now. And these guys are out. All right, moving up to the heavies. That's anything greater than 62 grams. That's our current gatekeeper, the Johnny Lightning Ford van. He was averaging 2280 whenever I did the warm-up runs. This guy didn't even come close. This guy came close, and, well, let's just say those 3 are probably going to have a good chance getting into the ranks. All right, Ford van versus the first Tricks funny car. Van got out on him. Only 2 thousandths difference. 2274 to a 76. And the SWAT 2274, the time to beat. I don't think he's gonna. Oh, he does do it. 72 to a 73. Tight race though. The Tricks funny car getting in by the hair on his chinny chin chin, but not by much. Let's jump up just to cut rate movers. See if he does anything against Tricks. Cut rate movers in lane 1. And if you're still with me at this point, you guys are some hardcore diecast racers. 80 to an 82. Did not expect this video to be this long. 2280, the time to beat. But some of you guys like long format stuff. That was a good run. 75 to a 92. Ugh. Some of you guys like the shorts. I figure y'all know how to use the fast forward button if you don't want to see this business get to the end. But those of you who want to see all the gory details, that was a terrible run a second time. Ugh. Let's just go up one more to this big block of metal. Leave a comment down below. Tell me if you like the longer race videos. There you go, 67 to a 78. Lane swappage 67, the time to beat. I don't think he's going to get it past that guy. 71 to a 79. All right then. One more car into the ranks. This guy is going to go right above cut rate movers. And the Ford van is history. Tricks funny car number 2. He was a little bit faster. Well, let's just pick on the Bad Bird, see how it does. Bad Bird in lane 1, the other Tricks funny car in lane number 2. And the Bad Bird is pretty fast, 57 to an 80. Ugh, I don't think we need to do that again. That's good enough for me. Cold, unexercised, and just threw down a pretty good time. So let's do evil number 3 against Tricks. And go. Evil number 3, 2272 to a 2281. And they're swapped 2272, the time to beat. I thought that was the faster of the 2 Tricks funny cars, but I may have been mistaken. 64 to a 73. Yeah, he's not going to make it into the ranks. And the last one in the heavies, you know it, you love it. Johnny Lightning's Spider-Man Chevy van. This guy was running pretty darn quick. Let's not mess around and let's just start with this ugly old F-250, also by Johnny Lightning. The F-250, currently my number 1 in the heavyweight class. Wow, good stinking race. 64 across the board, nod going to the Spidey. 2264, the time to beat. Spidey gets him, 2257 to a 2272. Spidey taking the overall number 1 spot in my weight rankings for greater than 62 grams. And I know what you're saying, why don't you put him up against the stack? Well, we're gonna run these 3 guys out against the stack, and I might just do that when we find out A, if they make it in, and B, who the new gatekeeper to the stack is. So keep your pants on. Okay, the time we've all been waiting for, we're gonna take the number 3 overall in the gift car race, put him up against the gatekeeper in the stack, and if necessary, we'll skip up from there, see where he lands. All right, here we go. Siku in lane 1, Kyle Petty in lane 2. And yeah, 46 to a 60. Oh boy, let's swap them. 48 to a 62, they're running fairly consistent. Siku temporarily back in that spot. Where do we want to go? Let's check out the Orange Roadrunner. Orange Roadrunner in lane 1, currently number 7th overall. Oh, it's a good race. 48 to a 52. And they're swapped. Let's see if he can keep climbing. 48 was the time, and he does. 43 to a 48. Kyle taking care of business. Let's move up a few more, shall we? Let's pick on our Fairmont one more time. Fairmont, lane 1. Whew. 49 to a 50. Yeah, you hear that, don't you? Later swap. I think he can beat a 4. And he does. 43 to a 44. Good race. So the Fairmont going back in. That was pretty close. Let's go against the Spectre Flame Roadrunner. Roadrunner lane 1, this is 4th overall. Roadrunner, 39 to a 47. And they're swapped. Let's see if Kyle's got a 30 in him. No. 42 to a 48. That's where he stops. So Roadrunner, he's going to go back there. And Kyle's going to go in the number 5 spot overall, which is awesome for that weight of casting. I'll shift all these guys down after we get done with these two. And that makes this process easier because we know the ambulance is faster than Kyle. So we can just go ahead and start up here next. In fact, we're going to jump up to number 2, CQ Ambulance versus CQ Ambulance. And this is going to be the battle for the number 2 spot. $46 to a 48, 2000s. Laser swapped. Old Red needs to beat a 22.46 to keep his spot. Might get it. He gets it 22.45 to a 22.50. So the red ambulance keeps the number 2 spot by 1/1000th of a second. So he goes back in there. And yeah, why not? Let's see if this guy's got anything for the ambulance. Battle for 3rd, Solo and Carbonite in lane 1. 46 to a 50. And they're swapped. Can CQ best a 22.46. This for 3rd. He does it. 22.44 to a 22.47. Sweet. New number 3 into the stack. Solo moving down to 4th. Sort that out here in a minute. And that leaves us with 1. We're going to put the winner of the gift car race, the Bonneville Speed Spray Funny Car, in lane number 2 against number 2 overall CQ Ambulance. And go. It's close. 22.42 to a 22.43. Laser swap 22.42, the time to beat, battling for the number 2 spot. Oh, he's going to blow him away. 22.35 to a 22.44. So, Speed Spray. Going to take a shot at the Murata, my current number 1. And no, these wheels are not sanded. And neither are these. All right, here we go, battling for the overall number 1 spot in the stack. $33 to a 35, got him by 0.02. Laser swapped. Murata needs to beat a 22.33 to stay on top. $38 to a 39. The 33 put down in the first pass. It's going to give us a new number 1 in my overall collection. This one, the car prepped by Elevation Diecast Racing, Bonneville Speed Spray, doing some work. And yes, that does not disappoint me in the least little bit. I'm always happy to get new speed into the stack. Thank you, David. All right, here we have it, the new stack order. New number 1 up on top. Murata to 2. We got the white ambulance in the number 4 spot. And we've got Kyle Petty doing excellent work in the number 7 spot. And our gatekeeper is the Mustang. These guys are going to be shuffled into the display. And because I know you're going to want to see it, CQ police van now shuffled down to the greater than 62 ranks. And the number 1 Spider-Man van, he's going to see if he can't defend his spot. And go. Good race. 22.57 to a 22.62. And we're SWAT 2257, time to beat. He's not going to do it. 62 to a 63. And a lot of aftermath down here on the deck. Some of these cars will get a reworking. See if we can't possibly get them back into the display. And our two vans shifted down from the stack into the heavy side of things. Spider-Man right there in third. Overall, pretty excellent race. Excellent cars sent in for the gifts. I appreciate it so very much that you guys sent those in. It's always awesome to get new speed into the ranks and the stack. Yeah, new number one. I'm impressed. Very cool. I know it was a long video. I appreciate you hanging out with me for this long. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please consider doing so. Make sure you ring the bell, like, share, all that business. And until next time, y'all stay healthy. Have fun racing.
Bye.